I'm back with Mark Biagi, and we're on a field trip, and we've got a project for you. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Ann. How are you?
I'm good. It's a wonderful day, and what are we going to do today?
Well, we're going to talk about creeks. And so we're all familiar with creeks and streams and rivers, lakes and marshes. And all we think about usually is the part that's got the water in it and flowing through. But a very important part of a creek ecosystem is the riparian area. And so what is our riparian area? The riparian area is what you see around the creek. All the trees, the bushes, the grasses, the mosses that are all over the banks of the river and stream, and they're absolutely essential for the health of the creek and the stream. Why? For many reasons. One, you can see that the trees, when we get leaves on them, are going to create a canopy that is going to shadow on top of the creek, and that is going to keep the creek nice and cool rather than blistering hot if it was under direct sunlight. The trees also attract insects, and they're very important because insects will either live part of their lives inside the creek, like caddisflies, mayflies, even dragonflies, and so they form part of that ecosystem inside the creek, and they can get eaten by little fish like salmon, smolts, parr will be able to feed on them. And they also break down, or they contribute to the leaf litter and biological organic matter into the creek, and you can see some of it already here. So this material falls in the creek, it goes underwater, little bits and pieces of log and stuff, and bacteria go into it, they start breaking it down, and the whole food chain starts from this perspective. Now, we look at the creek, and so it's easy to go around and look at the riparian area and count the trees and look at the plants, and you see some bracken over there and stuff. And so that's all very easy to look at, but looking inside the creek is very different kettle of fish. So what we do is I've made a bucket, it's a viewing bucket, and you can see that I've cut a hole in the bottom and I've siliconed a piece of Lexan or plexiglass in the bottom. And what this does is it allows us to put the bucket in the creek like this, and then we can see what's going on in the creek like if we had a mask on. And so we can move this around.
So you don't have to put your head in it, you can just see.
You can just see. And you can put your head, you can put your bucket in, and you just move it around, and you can see the little insects, or you may be able to see little fish hiding behind rocks and that sort of thing. So
that's so easy.
It's very easy, it's very fun, it's very cool, and you can get a lot of good information. And for those of you who have cell phones, you can take your cell phone and take pictures of the bottom of the creek through that plexiglass window.
Well, that sounds like fun, but I'm not going to do that. I'll look at it, but I'm not putting my cell phone in there. But that is really marvelous. And then you don't disturb the stream as much.
You don't disturb the stream as much. You gather as much information as you can. You got to keep in mind that even little streams like this are important for salmon. Not all of them are important for salmon, but they are important for salmon and trout and other species that swim around in the creeks, because this provides their habitat. And salmon come in after the ocean life cycle, and they move into freshwater, they spawn, and the little eggs hatch into sac fry, and then from that they grow up into little parr, and the little parr look like little salmon with bars on the side of them. That's a coloration. They call them parr because they look like bars. And then after they get to a certain point, they start changing. Let's say almost like teenagers. and then they get the urge to leave the fresh water, and that's the stage at which they become smolts. They go down the current off into the big ocean to come back as parents one day themselves.
So it's a circular process, a circle of life.
It's a circular process.
Well, Mark, this has been really fun, and we've learned a lot of things.
Yes.
And we're looking forward to our next YouTube video.
I'm looking forward to it as well. Thank you, Anne.
And we hope you'll all join us. But for now, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.